Police discover a body during the investigation into a missing teen. Charges are laid in the egging of a Saskatoon synagogue. And how a local event helps families get ready for back to school.
This is CTV News with Chantel Saunders.
Good evening. We begin tonight in Prince Albert, where police say they've located a body during a search for a missing teen girl. This was the scene at 40th Street East, where police blocked off traffic as part of its investigation into the disappearance of 14-year-old Peyton Flett. The girl was last seen in June. On Wednesday, her family made a plea to the public for information on her whereabouts. Police tell CTV News they are waiting for the autopsy results to identify the individual, as well as determining the cause of death. The 300 block of 40th Street East remains an active suspicious death investigation. The Greater Saskatoon Catholic School Division says there will be no delay to the school year following a fire at a Saskatoon high school. CTV's Stacey Hine has more on the extent of the damage and what it means for students.
This fire at Bethlehem Catholic High School last Friday came as a shock to Christian Garcia.
I was honestly surprised because, I was up late at night and then I get a notification in my group chat. They're like, yo, dude, the Bethlehem school is on fire. And then I check and then there's just a whole bunch of videos.
Garcia says he wasn't sure how the fire would affect his first year at the school.
I was kind of nervous that it would affect my classes, my schedules, but it seems like everything should be fine.
The Greater Saskatoon Catholic School Division says Garcia and other students will return to class as scheduled on September 2nd.
We're going to be proceeding as we always do at the beginning of a school year, and our staff has worked really hard to ensure that students will have that experience that they always have on the first day.
School Division Chair Diane Boyko says 4 portable classrooms under construction were destroyed. Some of the other 22 portable classrooms, along with parts of the main school building, sustained water and smoke damage. But Boyko says cleanup and repairs are underway. She also says the division is grateful to the firefighters, police, and the crews working to get the school ready for students.
It's hard to believe it's only been a week since all of this has happened, but everyone has just stepped up to the plate. And so the division is so grateful for all of those partnerships that we have.
Boyko says the division is still working out some details and more information will be provided to staff and parents next week. Meanwhile, police have called the fire suspicious and say an arson investigator is on the case. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A scary scene in downtown Regina this week as a section of scaffolding crashed to the ground, coming within inches of hitting a young family. Jacob Carr has that story.
Claire Johnstone had a near brush with disaster on Tuesday that afternoon. Her near 6-month-old son, Teo, was ill, and as Johnstone was loading him into the family car to head to the hospital, she narrowly avoided a falling brick caused by a collapsing scaffolding platform from several stories above, all captured on the vehicle's dash cam.
It's time-stamped, so you can see that my door is just about to be closed, and you can see the shadow of things that are falling, and it's in that same second. That messed me up more than anything.
Johnstone says after what happened, it is hard not to believe in some sort of divine intervention. But at the same time, the incident has left her paranoid and on edge. She says she immediately thought of the Final Destination movies where one cheats death and then is subsequently hunted by it afterwards.
I'm not gonna lie, that's not what went in my head. I didn't leave the apartment yesterday. I was like, yeah, I'm okay, I'm good. I feel like I need to take a second.
Johnstone also can't shake the thought of playing through what-if scenarios, saying Teo could have been left without a mother.
A foot back or a foot forward, a second later, and it could have meant somebody dying, and that changes all of our lives. And I just think whoever, cut corners for whatever happened is really lucky that nobody nobody died or got seriously injured.
CTV News reached out to the scaffolding company whose trucks were spotted during the cleanup of the incident and was told they have no comment. The incident is being investigated by Occupational Health and Safety. Construction was underway Thursday afternoon to fix some of the brickwork damaged in Tuesday's incident. And while the building will be repaired for Johnstone and her family, she says some of the mental wounds from their near brush with death might never fully heal. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
All right, Jeff, sunshine is on the way, right?
It is.
Right?
It is. It is. Yes, there is sunshine on the way and warmer temperatures. I know. It's a double whammy. Yes, it's a double with extra cream and sugar. Basically, but speaking of double things, we have a couple of different systems that we're keeping our eye on. This one has moved through the Saskatoon, Prince Albert, and Battlefords region. It continues to make its way into northern Saskatchewan. This was the big rainmaker for southeastern Saskatchewan, a part of the province that is already, I'll say, waterlogged, but certainly saturated. Waterlogged may be too much of a word, but it is moving into Manitoba right now, and we're still having to keep our eye on this system coming up out of Montana, impacting southwestern Saskatchewan. There's a lot going on. We'll talk about it later on.
A non-violent religious standoff took place downtown Regina. An Islamic mosque played an outdoor call to the prayer for the third time this summer, while a few opposed to the public broadcast stood on the sidewalk reciting their own Christian prayers. As Wayne Mantika reports, the two faith groups drowned each other out.
It was hard to tell which was louder. A weekly Muslim call to prayer was broadcast from the roof of a downtown Regina mosque, while someone on the sidewalk shouted Christian prayers in response. It was the second Friday in a row that the mosque broadcast a call to prayer. Some support the expression of faith, while others feel it should be kept within the walls of the mosque. It has sparked a petition drive to City Council.
We don't push our religion. Christians don't push our religion in other people's faces, so I don't think that the Muslim call to prayer should be forced upon us, that we have to listen to it.
The mosque welcomes the faith discussion taking place on its street corner.
Yeah, we don't see any problem. So they also have a right to believe what they want to believe and also share with others. Yeah, that's perfectly all right. Yeah.
The mosque has no regrets about having initiated its weekly call to prayer broadcast and the faith discussion that it has sparked out front. It considers the experience to have been positive. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
Saskatoon police have laid charges following a vandalism incident at a synagogue. Police say it happened August 1st when a man threw a carton of eggs at the Congregation Agudas Israel synagogue and nearby vehicles. Investigators released that photo of the suspect from surveillance cameras outside the building. Police say a 31-year-old man from Dundurn turned himself in yesterday. He's facing 3 counts of mischief and has been released on conditions. 2 Saskatchewan men found guilty of human trafficking are scheduled to be sentenced in October. Last week, a Saskatoon judge found Mohammed Massoum and Sohel Haider guilty of human trafficking, ruling the men exploited a Bangladeshi woman at their restaurants. Massoum was also found guilty of 3 counts of sexual assault. Court heard the woman, who cannot be named due to a publication ban, worked long hours at the restaurants, 6 days a week with little to no pay until she got help to leave the situation. The men remain in custody and are scheduled to be sentenced on October 22nd. With the new school year right around the corner, the community organizations in Saskatoon are getting kids ready to carry the load with new backpacks. CTV's Carla Shinkruk was at the annual giveaway event.
They're giving it out for free, and we're very happy today, so thank you.
These may look like regular backpacks being filled for school, but the impact of these backpacks goes further.
Families are struggling right now with food, rent. Poverty is a big thing right now because of the inflation.
This event, put on by the Saskatoon Tribal Council and White Buffalo Youth Lodge, is in its 12th year.
I think like it's great because like, you know, like to like help people, like to like so they don't have to like waste money like on like buying school supplies a lot, and like for like the new people that comes to Canada.
Some families waiting in line since 4 in the morning to get what they need for school.
School supplies, keychains, toothpaste,
eraser, books, and you know, more stuff. And plus, I got a backpack.
There was also a carnival with activities and community tables.
We're the Saskatoon Public Library, and this is our biggest giveaway of the year. We're giving away thousands of withdrawn library materials today.
And all free.
All free.
And one of the biggest changes since the event started is who is coming to fill their backpacks.
But now that gap is changed to include newcomers, doesn't matter who it is, non-Indigenous people, everybody's welcome here.
Of the 4,000 backpacks picked up here, about 1/3 will go to non-Indigenous people.
When you go to school and your friends at school see this, what are they going to say?
I don't know.
There's even a chance to get a new hairdo, and all of it thanks to volunteers and generous community partners.
As many as you want, as many as you can carry.
Another hope for this event, according to Chief Arcand, is that it connects more people with the programs and services at the White Buffalo Youth Lodge. Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A familiar face in Prince Albert has been introduced as this year's honorary chair for the Terry Fox Run. Jasmine Pelche has that story.
Prince Albert will have a familiar face as honorary chair of its 46th annual Terry Fox Run.
Terry Fox Foundation does also help with early detection programs. For me, that was the reason why my breast cancer was caught early, because of those programs.
Kim Paget was diagnosed in 2024.
It's a phone call I'll never forget, probably the most emotional and hardest phone call I've ever received.
Thanks to what Paget says was an incredible medical team, she's been cancer-free since early 2026. The Terry Fox Run coordinators reached out to Paget because she had done the puck drop for the Prince Albert Raiders Cancer Awareness Night.
I'm a season ticket holder for the Raiders, and I saw that she was doing the puck drop at their Hockey Fights Cancer game last year, and I figured she'd be perfect person to represent the Terry Fox Run this year.
Paget works for the Raiders and came back from treatment to the news she'd be doing the puck drop.
Completely unexpected. So yeah, I was able to go out there. Some of my past billet sons had recorded messages of just appreciation, thankful, love. And my daughters walked out with me, and my 2 billet sons at the time were the ones that did the face-off. Yeah, it was just a really special night that meant a lot.
Paget says she admires past honorary chairs like her late friend Bruce Vance and his wife, cancer survivor Leanne Vance, and considers the role a huge honor.
Having hope means that people come together to achieve a goal. And the Terry Fox Run is just that. It's people coming together to reach those goals of raising funds to continue to find life-saving treatments and hopefully a cure one day.
The Terry Fox Run is September 20th at the Alfred Jenkins Fieldhouse. Jasmine Pelche, CTV News, Prince Albert.
One of the largest studies ever conducted in Saskatchewan is looking into how lifestyles, genetics, and the environment impact our health, especially when it comes to cancer and chronic diseases. Mick Favel tells us more about the study and how people can get involved.
A 50-year study is now underway in Saskatchewan to better understand cancer and other chronic diseases. With the information, researchers hope to learn why cancer, diabetes, and heart disease develop in the first place and find ways to prevent their onset.
Chronic disease as well poses a huge burden on our health system in Canada. We know that 1 in 2 Canadians will die from cancer or another chronic disease. So significant impact in Canada and all around the world.
Healthy Future Sask is looking to recruit 7,000 Saskatchewan residents between the ages of 30 to 74 to complete an in-depth health and lifestyle questionnaire. Participants will then need to have physical measurements taken as well as a biological sample. Updates will be made throughout the years. Van Stone says disease treatments are always improving thanks to surveys such as this.
All of those therapies exist because of research. We want to continue to offer more treatment options, newer treatment options, better treatment options, things that not only extend people's life, but also improve the quality of their life when they're experiencing a disease.
The planning for this project started over 5 years ago, with enrollment beginning in 2023. Letters have been mailed out to households across the province about the survey. There is currently a need for more male participants.
Studies like this give us the tools, they give us the information, they give us the ability to study why people develop chronic disease, to progress and change the course of health for future generations.
There are currently over 3,400 enrolled in the survey. The enrollment phase closes in March 2027. Mick Favel, CTV News, Regina.
Saskatoon Folkfest kicks off today. The event is being held at Prairieland Park and features international food, displays, activities, and live performances. While there are 11 pavilions featured, the popular Ukrainian and Scottish pavilions will not be involved after pulling out of the event in 2024. Folkfest wraps up tomorrow at midnight. This is the 47th year of Saskatoon Folkfest. And it's the annual Show and Shine weekend, and police are issuing a warning around road rules and street racing. There will be a heavy police presence downtown and along 8th Street for Cruise Weekend. Saskatoon Police says all traffic laws will be enforced with a zero-tolerance approach. Road restrictions may be in place to facilitate a safer flow of traffic. Police warn that stunt driving can come with a $580 fine, 7-day suspension, and 30-day vehicle impoundment. Well, if you're looking to get into swimming lessons in the fall, registration is right around the corner. Registration for Civic Fall Recreation Programs begins on Sunday at 6 o'clock. They include fitness classes, kids skating, soccer, basketball, and floor hockey. The city says opening night for registration gets busy, so lots of people are using the city website, registering all at once. They're small, but they're making a big mess. Aphids are out in full force across Regina this summer, leaving behind a sticky substance called honeydew. The city of Regina says this year in particular, they have seen pockets of very high aphid populations due to the summer heat. The lack of moisture helps the small green insects flourish. The aphids' rapid reproduction rate and small size make it tough for the city to treat them.
Residents are seeing a lot of the honeydew making a mess all over their driveways, their cars, their furniture. It is really frustrating. We understand that. Residents can spray just a strong stream of water up into the tree that does help dislodge them.
Thompson says the city uses methods such as special soap to try to curb the aphid population. Almost 5 years ago, a Saskatchewan woman started up a rhinestone supply business in honor of her late grandmother. And as Damian Smith tells us, she's identified a gap in the market and her business has become a shining success.
Megan Anderson is 1 month away from the 5-year anniversary of her business, the Bling and Bluebird.
I've learned everything along the way. When I first started, I didn't know anything. I just jumped in with both feet.
In September of 2021, she started the Rhinestone and Sparkle Supplies business to remember her grandmother, Irma Hammermeister, who passed away earlier that year.
She was my favorite person. She was somebody that I always felt like understood me.
The journey began in her basement, which was quickly overwhelmed.
I think we had like 40 rhinestone colors and I just had like my little table and that's where I started. And then it grew and it grew enough that I ended up overflowing into my living room.
She and her husband built a shop in spring of 2025. Over the years, Anderson has made custom creations for herself like a rider jersey and the 100-day sweater, which she bedazzled with a different tattoo for 100 days straight.
There's so many different kinds of rhinestones, so what I carry is high quality glass. So below glass is like acrylic and resin. The high quality glass is what a lot of people choose to use when they're investing in sparkle.
She has also gained a large following on social media. In the past 5 years, she's shipped bling to all provinces, 2 territories, and all of the United States.
When I first started, I wasn't thinking of business at all. I just wanted to do something that would help me remember her, that would make sure that her memory never faded.
Now offering lessons, Anderson looks to put some sparkle in people's lives, ensuring her grandmother's legacy shines on. Damian Smith, CTV News, Carlisle.
A Saskatchewan icon is celebrating a special milestone this weekend. Sunday marks 35 years since Scotty, the world's largest T-Rex, was discovered near East End. The T-Rex Discovery Center is celebrating with many activities, including a Scotty-themed scavenger hunt. Still to come on CTV News, the latest on the U.S. trade talks, and a veteran takes the Canadian Armed Forces to court. You're watching CTV News live from downtown Saskatoon. Thanks for staying with us. We're learning new details about what's being put on the trade table between Canada and the U.S. Sources tell CTV News that proposed framework so far does not include relief for one industry, and Americans want to see booze back on the shelves immediately. Mike Lecouture has the story.
Less than a week before the August 19th deadline, CTV News has learned that the proposed deal between Canada and the U.S. does not include a reduction of tariffs on softwood lumber. Sources are also telling us that the U.S. side wants American alcohol to return to provincial store shelves immediately after the deal is signed. CTV News has spoken to one source on the Canadian side and one on the American side, and both have knowledge of what is happening at the negotiating table. 8 of 10 provinces have removed U.S. booze from their store shelves in response to U.S. President Donald Trump's ongoing trade threats. According to our sources, it has been the largest irritant on the American side. We're also hearing that the U.S. wanted to see the removal of Canadian counter tariffs on American autos, which were implemented as a response to the American sectoral tariffs. All of this is coming as Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc and lead trade negotiator Janice Charette have been briefing the Prime Minister's Advisory Committee on Canada-U.S. Economic Relations. The Canadian negotiators have also briefed their provincial counterparts. Now, ahead of that briefing, BC Premier David Eby clearly laid out that any deal must include a reduction of tariffs for lumber.
The softwood lumber sector is bigger than auto parts and steel combined in terms of the Canadian economy, and it needs to be front and center at the table.
Sources are also telling CTV News that Greer intends to put the framework of a deal on President Trump's desk as early as Monday. Greer has also told multiple officials that everything will hinge on the president's mood when he's presented with that proposal. Mike Lecouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
Now to a story about alleged military discrimination. A veteran is taking the Canadian Armed Forces to court, challenging policies that allegedly ban potential new recruits who are living with HIV. CTV's Rachel Aiello has the story.
JB, whose identity CTV News has agreed to protect, served in active duty with the Canadian Armed Forces for 13 years. 5 years in, he was diagnosed by a military doctor with HIV. He began taking medication and continued serving for 8 more years, including deploying on a peacekeeping mission to Mali in 2019.
Living with HIV never made me feel different from the colleagues that I was serving with.
But after a voluntary release to pursue other career opportunities, JB tried to rejoin as a reservist in 2024 and was denied.
And I was shocked when I received the rejection letter.
That letter from the recruiting medical office explicitly cited his HIV status, stating that because of this, he did not meet the military's enrollment standards.
My diagnosis seems to carry more weight than the record I already built in uniform.
The 38-year-old is now taking the Canadian military to court, challenging the constitutionality of their policies that list HIV as grounds for disqualification.
To deny carte blanche
folks who are living with HIV just because they're living with HIV. It's discrimination.
JB's lawyers argue applicants shouldn't be rejected based on outdated stigma. They hope the challenge will prompt the armed forces to re-examine their rules.
From our perspective, both the science, the logistics, and the operational concerns have been addressed by other NATO countries.
JB says he thinks this case could benefit all Canadians given the military's recruitment struggles, but hopes others living with HIV hear this message.
Don't let an HIV diagnosis convince you that you have less to offer your country.
CTV News asked both the Canadian Armed Forces and Defence Minister David McGuinty for comment on the court challenge and the policies at the centre of it. Neither responded by deadline. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
Luigi Mangione pleaded guilty in a New York courtroom today to federal stalking charges in the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Mangione was charged with ambushing Thompson outside a New York City hotel. The shooting turned Mangione into a public figure and ignited debate over the health insurance industry in the U.S. Mangione's legal team is now seeking to have his separate New York State murder case thrown out. Mangione will be sentenced on December 18th and could spend the rest of his life in prison. Hawaii is under a state of emergency as a tropical storm, Lala, approaches.
Today I just am at KTA trying to get some other things, getting ready for the storm.
People have been stocking up on essentials like food and water, and there have been lineups at gas stations. Lala is expected to strengthen into a hurricane as it approaches Hawaii's Big Island this weekend. Record rainfall in Japan has caused severe flooding around Tokyo, killing at least 8 people. More than 360 millimeters of rain fell in 24 hours on one of Japan's busiest holiday weeks. At one point, 20,000 homes had power knocked out. Thousands of travelers are stranded, and several rail services are also suspended. Authorities are still warning about the risk of landslides with more rain on the way. All right, a messy situation there, but here at home, we've had a little bit of rain in the morning, just cloudy sky. I'm doing your job for you.
No, that's okay. Keep going. You often fill in for me, so you got it covered.
I'm just telling you what I saw today, and it wasn't much sunshine.
No, it was a gray day to be sure, and you were right. Spotty showers on and off as this system rolled through our area. Now, it wasn't nearly as bad as it was in Japan, but southeastern Saskatchewan really got hit by a lot of rain. We don't have accumulations yet, but it was a significant amount of rain that was anticipated, and it looked like that's what fell as well. Let's take a look at our numbers closer to home here. We're going to start off with our current temperatures. 19 in Saskatoon right now. A little bit of shower activity in the Prince Albert area. They had a thunderstorm about an hour ago. 15 degrees, winds out of the south-southeast at 24, and 17 in the Battlefords, winds from the north at 11 kilometers an hour. Saskatoon's almanac, well, 20 degrees, so yeah, below seasonal again. 36, though, that was the record warm temperature set in 1906. The record cold temperature, a chilly 1 degree from 1975. The sun came up at 5:48. It's going to go down at 8:33.
Coming up, a heartwarming rescue in British Columbia. 3 orphaned otters get a second chance.
The Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency is lending a hand to other provinces. Monday on Your Morning, an update on the wildfire season here in Saskatchewan and how they're helping BC in crisis.
Okay, let's take a look through the live lens of Skycam. Still some gray skies out there, some light rain in the area. As I mentioned, Prince Albert had a bit more in the way of a significant downpour within the last hour because of a thunderstorm. But let's move on to our satellite and radar shot here. We can show you that we've got ourselves that big system that is still triggering a rainfall warning. We'll show you that later down in the southeastern corner of the province. But the bulk of this system has moved into Manitoba. It will continue to make its way into Ontario. First system has sort of moved through our area, still having lingering effects effects. And of course, as we mentioned, it impacted Prince Albert. And we're going to have to keep our eye on this system as it makes its way through Alberta into southwestern Saskatchewan, at least in the next 12 hours or so. All right, now on to our numbers. Just to recap, 19 degrees in Saskatoon, a little bit of shower activity in Prince Albert, 15 and 17 in the Battleford. It's a bit breezy in Prince Albert right now. Winds out of the south-southeast at 24. Sandy Bay was the provincial hotspot at 23 degrees, the cold spot for a second day in a row. Stony Rapids today at 4 degrees. Around the province we go. So in Lloydminster right now it is 17, the same for Regina, 19 in Swift Current, 18 in Moose Jaw, and 15 in both Yorkton and Estevan. In central parts of the province, the northern grain belt, and parts of the Lakeland region, temperatures are ranging from 14 degrees in Melfort and area up to 18 degrees, and that is in sort of a straight, actually 19 in Saskatoon, but an 18-degree straight line in Kindersley, Rosetown, and Watrous. Well, kind of straight, and it gets up to 20 in Hudson Bay. All right, now we'll go up north and take a look at those temperatures. 13 degrees right now in Key Lake, but it does get as warm as 21 in Stony Rapids. It's 20 in Sandy Bay, Island Falls, 18 in Buffalo Narrows. Down south, no real breakout temperatures here because it has been rainy, and so a bit on the cool side. The warmest it gets in this part of our map, 20 degrees in Outlook. The coolest is 14 degrees in a couple of places, and that's Indian Head and Broadview. Now on to our futurecast. Well, the computer modeling indicating that system, yes, continues to make its way into Ontario from Manitoba. And then the southern system looks as though it's not going to be as impactful as we originally thought, and looks like some spotty, isolated showers for tomorrow as a high-pressure area builds in. As I mentioned, down in southwestern Saskatchewan, that rainfall effect is still in place, also for parts of southwestern Manitoba. Some places could see up to 70 millimeters of rain when all is said and done. Temperatures in the low 20s for northern Saskatchewan with cloudy or mainly cloudy skies. For the most part, a similar sky condition for west central Saskatchewan, although Rosetown looks to be can expect to have a mainly sunny sky, but temperatures in and around 22 degrees. A similar temperature pattern and sky situation for the southwest, mainly sunny in Outlook, and mainly cloudy skies. Temperatures in the low 20s for southeastern Saskatchewan, so remaining on the cool side of seasonal, and that's true of east central Saskatchewan on Saturday as well. The Battlefords tonight dropping down to 11 degrees, 30% chance of showers, some fog patches, but lingering fog for the area. Mainly cloudy skies tomorrow, 22 degrees, but there will be lingering fog, as I mentioned. 26 on Sunday, but then it cools off on Monday, but then a slow warm-up and getting up to 28, so above seasonal temperatures, and nicely so by Friday of next week. Rain tapering off in Prince Albert. Again, some fog patches showing up, 11 degrees, 22 tomorrow with mainly cloudy skies. And then the 7-day outlook for Prince Albert, well, we're cooling off on Monday, although a warm Sunday, cooling off on Monday, and then a nice climb to up to 27 degrees on Friday. It's going to feel lovely. And then finally, Saskatoon, 11 degrees, northwesterly winds at 10, the good chance of lingering showers, fog patches, but then that fog will dissipate, 22 for a high, mainly cloudy skies, and then 27 on Sunday, so enjoy it because it cools off a little bit on Monday and Tuesday. Of course, on Monday, we have the Share the Spirit golf tournament in support of the Saskatoon School Foundation, and then, oh, look at that, getting up to, what, 29 on Friday?
You're not gonna get away with this.
But he might.
I didn't know you could get that big.
Spider-Man, Brand New Day has become the fastest film in history to cross the $500 million US dollar mark at the North American box office, doing so in just 7 days. The film broke the record set by another Marvel hit, Avengers Endgame, which reached the $500 million US domestically in 8 days. And if its box office numbers hold this weekend, the film will nab the third best domestic second weekend ever. But remember, numbers have not been adjusted for inflation.
I was going to ask you, Hollander, will you come to my cottage this summer? Don't go to Russia.
The Crave original series Heated Rivalry is continuing to build out its Season 2 cast with some new additions. The hit show announced 5 new cast members, including Emily Hampshire from Schitt's Creek and Priyanka from the reality series Drag Brunch Saved My Life. The second season is currently filming and is set to premiere in the spring. Both Crave and CTV are part of Bell Media. And actress and singer Selena Gomez and her mental health startup Wondermind is facing legal troubles. 5 investors filed a lawsuit against Gomez, claiming they were misled about the startup's success and the pop star's involvement in it. The investors say they put up $1.2 million into the company in 2022. They allege the company hit its decline for years. The group is seeking to recoup their investments. The singer has not commented on the lawsuit. No comment.
Thanks, Jeff. You have some comments, though.
Well, I do. Before I start with Pick of the Day, I want to wish the best of luck to the team behind High Noon. That's Riley McClellan. The alcohol funny car is at the Sunset Showdown, I believe. Southwinds Showdown coming up tomorrow, and hope they do great on the track there. Now, on to Pick of the Day.
That's a cool shirt.
Sure, why not? It is a cool shirt.
Yeah.
All right, and there's some cool pictures here. I love seeing the tail lights at night. It looks very cool. But this comes to us from Brooke, and she simply tells us this is between North Battleford and Battleford. And I'll be in Battleford tomorrow for the Hall of Fame induction of the Baseball Hall of Fame in Saskatchewan. So looking forward to that. Next one comes to us from Keelan Campbell. This was submitted by Kirk and Jody Campbell. One of them writes, my son Keelan took this picture when we were up in Flin Flon last week. You could hear the calming sounds of the loons who were also enjoying the night sky. All right, I'm not sure which lake that is, but my aunt who also lived in Flin Flon used to call them the Looney Loons. The Looney Loons. There you go. Auntie Nelda, there you go. Next one comes from Scott Comfort, and this is the Foam Lake Merchants. They are the 2026 Richardson Pioneers Men's Fastball League champions. They defeated Rosebud Royals 2-0 in the modified best of 3. So congratulations to the team from Foam Lake. There you go.
Foam Lake.
The home of the Flyers. There you go.
There you go.
All right.
Congrats.
And finally, look
beautiful.
at this. From Gail Cormish, Attons Lake, and a great shot there of being on the beach, enjoying that sunset. And I had to look it up. It's near Cutknife, and it looks like a beautiful little lake. So check it out. And if you'd like to send a picture our way, you can do so by sending it to cfqcnews@ctv.ca. Please put Pick of the Day in the subject line. And you can also scan the QR code to get those pictures our way.
Still to come on CTV News, a community comes together to rescue 3 baby otters. Here's a heartwarming story out of Alert Bay, British Columbia. A group of people came together to rescue a trio of baby otters. CTV's Adam Sawatsky has that story.
After looking past the crowd, Robin Quirk saw what seemed like a wet sock on the dock.
I just moved. You know, there's no hesitation. You just go and help.
So Robin raced over to the baby river otter and built a shelter to protect it before hearing what had been done to rescue it.
And there were 3 otters wrapped in fishing net. The third one was wrapped up so bad that it was motionless and the head was laying in the water.
After Gordon Mellish pulled the tangled trio out of the ocean, he cut the first 2 free before returning to the third, who wasn't moving.
It didn't look like it was going to survive, but you got to try.
So the former logger and fisherman did what he'd done to 10 other humans before, but never an otter.
And I gave the heart a little pump. Nothing was going on, so I actually grabbed it, picked it up, wrapped my mouth around its mouth and its nose and gave it a breath of life.
You performed CPR on an otter.
Yeah, I know.
After the baby started breathing on its own, Robin took over, following expert advice and caring for the otter overnight in her car.
You know how if you can't get your baby to sleep, you take it for a drive? Well, the otter slept the whole way.
And like a mother might sing her baby a lullaby, Robin would whistle to the otter.
You're responsible for this life.
After driving the otter to the wild animal rescue, the baby spent a week being rehabilitated before Robin picked him up and met with Gordon to release him.
But before she went to go swim away, she turned back, looked at me, and we made eye-to-eye contact, and she nodded her head and then took away and swam away.
And they didn't see the pup again until someone sent Robin this video, and she rushed down to the water where it was taken.
And started whistling. All of a sudden, there was this little otter, and I said aloud, "Oh, buddy, you're alone." And then
a second baby appeared, then a third, followed by their mom.
And I went, oh man, we did it. We united the family.
And by we, Robin is acknowledging the more than a dozen people who also stepped up to support the baby along the way, including Gordon, who brought it back to life with his breath.
A life's a life, no matter what it is. Just try to do your best to save it.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News.
When we come back, the latest on the Saskatchewan Rough Riders and 2 furry commuters try and take the Portland bus.
All right, time to take a look at the situation for tomorrow. And things are starting to, well, not going to say warm up, but they're certainly not rainy. And temperatures in the low 20s, and that's pretty much the case north and south of the Yellowhead. Let's take a look and see what's going on down south. Well, as you can see, temperatures, again, really don't change all that much. Basically in the low 20s tomorrow, and not much in the way of precipitation. Does that include St. Walburg? It does indeed. Partly cloudy skies or mainly cloudy conditions. 21 degrees, winds out of the northwest at 15. So all in all, a pretty nice day shaping up in St. Walburg, and that is where internet plans of up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel.
The Saskatchewan Rough Riders continue to battle injury issues this week as American running back Star Thomas will get his first start in the CFL tomorrow night.
We've been lucky to be together for a long time now, and just continue to build on that and the chemistry we have. And whoever's in there, we expect them to do the same as the last guy. So just keeping that continuity in the room. Everyone does a good job of staying ready, and that's really what makes us us.
And the whole group together spends a lot of time in the film room, and even us rookies alone, getting our own extra stuff after. And it's been really helpful as we progress through the season.
The Riders gear up to face Hamilton tomorrow. The offensive line is one of the few areas not impacted by injuries, using the same starting 5 they had last week against Ottawa. They've only given up 11 sacks in 8 games this season. The Riders take on the Tiger Cats tomorrow at 5 o'clock on TSN. Coming up, we meet the kid following in the footsteps of the King of Pop. Then seniors take on parkour.
Select Hair Service is brought to you by Sage, the beauty bar.
Well, we've got another great night of entertainment coming up right here on CTV starting at 7 with W5. Avery Haynes investigates. The words seniors and parkour, they don't often go together. No. Unless the words are please don't try that are in between. But this class in Singapore is defying convention. Now, don't worry, seniors aren't jumping out of buildings or climbing over walls. What they are doing is practicing exercises and movement aimed at improving balance and fitness.
That's pretty impressive.
It is pretty impressive. I'd pull my back for sure.
Well, I think I might be in that same category. Mm-hmm.
They say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Yes, they say that.
They say that.
Yeah.
This kid loves Michael Jackson so much that he memorized the choreography to the Thriller dance every step of the King of Pop takes. So he does too. From the moves to the facial expressions, he nails this performance. So cute.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have one more.
I know.
Bus riders in Portland got a big surprise this week when 2 furry commuters hopped on board.
Hippies.
The city's transit authority posted video online of 2 goats trying to catch a ride Tuesday morning. They didn't pay their fare and were quickly shooed back onto the streets. The city later confirmed the goats, named Billy the Kid and Billy the Goat, made it back home. The owner says the gate to their pen has since been repaired. So there you go.
You know, it's Portland. Is anybody surprised?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, it's the 2 goats are here again. Just let them on this time.
Yeah, you know, I'm just okay.
We'll do the loop and get them back here.
Look at this little adventurous duo.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the names, Billy the Kid and Billy the Goat.
Why not? Why not go with that, with those both Billies?
2 Billies.
Hillbillies.
Okay.
Come and listen to a story about a man named Jed. Do you even know that song?
No, but I'm ready to learn.
Fair enough. Hey, quick look at the weather tomorrow.
Okay.
I think we do have time for that. I think we do. Maybe we don't.
No, we don't.
Okay.
Maybe not.
Oh, there we go. 14
Cloudy.
degrees tomorrow morning at 9. By noon, 17. Mid-afternoon, about 21 or 22 degrees, and then 20 by 5 o'clock. And it looks like a bit of a breeze tomorrow. Winds out of the northwest at 20.
There you go. Pretty nice.
Yeah, not bad. And warming up on Sunday. Things looking good for Sunday. Speaking of looking good, what about Darcy Clayton, Shane Corrigan, Clint Dolan, J.S. Mills, Jeb Runquist, Corey Toman, Zach Greenhorn, Kelly Singer, Chris Parapelkin, Dale Cooper, Chad Hills, Dan Shingus. I think Chad Hills took these pictures.
Yes.
And Lisa Fort and J.C. Garden. Yes, it's Rock the River.
Getting ready for Rock the River.
Enjoy, people, and be safe.
Be safe, yes. Good night.